Good morning, everybody, and Merry Christmas. Hopefully, you guys are having a wonderful day with your family, giving thanks for everything that we've been blessed with in our lives. It's an amazing time of year for us to be into. Is typically it's probably a little bit more exciting than it is right now, but this is the official opening day of summer booking season. I've done this broadcast. This will be the third one that I've done annually. I'm excited to do it. Literally, we just got done doing our presents with our kids. Got a late start today, about 15, 20 minutes ago. And I didn't want to put a rush on them. I'm like, I got to get done to do this. I really appreciate you being here on Christmas Day to spend a couple of minutes with me. This won't be overly long, but I want to just start and let you know that if you've had water issues, if you've had heating issues at one of your properties, you're not alone. I'm sure you see that on social media. I can tell I've felt that all the way from here in my home. I'm in my studio, which is in my basement. And we just got heat restored last night in this part of our house. Thank God we have it upstairs. I've had heat issues and water issues from my properties in the North Carolina mountains all the way down to Gulf Shores, Alabama down on the Gulf. So you're not alone. How you rectify that for your guests, just always keep in mind it's not a percentage of what they paid or the nightly rate. It's Christmas time. It's emotional. It's what's going to make it right for them. So I can't tell you what to do or what not to do because that's going to be on an individual basis. But just make sure we take care of our guests because it's more than just the cost of a nightly stay when they're inconvenienced with things like this. So on to bigger and better things. Hi, Sheila, Tony, Scott, Eric, Jose, Lori. My gosh, thank you guys for being here today. I think the one thing that I want to make sure that everybody takes away, and for the last 2 consecutive years in 2020 and 2021, is we were just embarking into COVID. 2019 was crushing at the end of the year. The summer was great in 2019. The fall was great in 2019. The winter was great in 2019. And kind of the same pricing strategies that I would put into place in COVID during the summer of 2020, 2021, even 2022, I was putting into place on Christmas in 2019. I don't think that's going to be the same moving forward. And here's what I want you to really understand. The mindset shift happens now during the holidays. Now is when people are booking. And if you have summer properties, and that could be anywhere from Oregon to California to the Gulf. Now is when people start thinking about their vacations. And you can really look at this if you do some data research in your lead times and the historical lead time data. Now, we all know that's gotten a lot shorter as the economy has taken a turn for the worse, as we've gone in and interest rates have gone up for us. So, milk is more expensive, fuel's more expensive. So what's happening is people are planning later. But we should have a really good semblance of how our summer booking season is going to shape up by what happens over roughly the next 45 days. I think by February 1st, if you're keeping track of what's happening, and this is a time, folks, you cannot set it and forget it, meaning your rates. You need to pay close attention to your rankings. I use RankBreeze for that. Shout out to Kelvin Ma. You need to keep an eye on the AirDNA pacing numbers. So those are the 2 big things that I look at. Then I'm looking at the reports that I get from RankBreeze and also Price Labs to see what the search volume is, right? I really want to know what the search volume is in my markets. Then I want to look at the AirDNA pacing feature. And if you never use the AirDNA pacing feature, what you can see is what's already booked and what's the average rate. Then you can see what's available and what's the average rate. And if I combine that with my rate information from Price Labs, now I can really stay on top of what's happening. And we got to pay close attention to those inquiries that are coming in, whether they're coming in from regional sites or they're coming in from one of the OTAs or direct bookings. We need to learn over the next 30 to 45 days really what our rates are going to be at a maximum and what the marketplace is driving. Those are 2 different things. 2 completely different things. What do we max out at and what's the marketplace going to command? So typically I'm the guy that takes my properties and raises them by 20, 30, sometimes even 50%. And I'll sit on it till roughly April, May. I'll start lowering pricing down to where the ceiling really should be. I'm not going to be that aggressive this year. I want to get about 25% of my summer booked up. Literally, and I'm talking from summer for me is May 1st through Labor Day. That is the entire season. What I look at is really June 1st through the second week of August. There's a 10-week segment in there where the majority of kids in the United States are out of school, and that is ultra peak season. So peak summer booking season, May 1st through Labor Day. Ultra peak season is June 1st through the second week of August. And I treat May 1st through June 1st differently than I do from the second week of August through Labor Day. So that's about 3 weeks on the front. It's about 3 weeks on the back. Now, most of my summer booking properties have some compression events in both of the non-ultra peak season in May. Like in Gulf Shores, we have Hangout Fest, huge compression event. We have a major holiday, Memorial Day. And the interesting thing is that like Hangout Fest runs into Memorial Day. You know, a lot of these compression events happen over the summer. So we've got to track that demand. That's another reason I want to use the pacing feature. So Eric, Kathy, Jeremy, Jennifer, hey, the AirDNA pacing and book prices all in one location on Beyond Pricing. If you use that, you can select up to 40 other homes and create a comp set to compare prices with. That's a great point, Eric. You know, I'm not the biggest fan of AirDNA because it's so singular in what we can do. So if you are, and I don't use Beyond, but if you are on Beyond, that's a great way to put in comp sets. That's why you should also be tracking and rank breeze your comp sets on the specific dates. So that's what I think is really important here. This is what I'm talking about right here. And let's see. This is from Tony Bear up in Louisville and Lexington. People must have gotten some Christmas money. Tons of bookings these last few days here along the Bourbon Trail. So that's the same thing that I have seen is literally today is Sunday, starting on about Wednesday. And I'm just like everybody else outside of the 2 properties that I have that I own and one that I co-host in the North Carolina mountains. It's been dead, specifically down at the beach, down at my lake properties. It just has not been strong for summer booking season. Then all of a sudden on Wednesday, I got 2 bookings. I got 0 on Thursday. I got 7 on Friday. And I didn't write this one down. I think it was 5 or 6 yesterday. So those are a consistent trend of what's happening. I haven't had one yet today, but I fully anticipate that I will get bookings later today because people will get Christmas money today. So pay attention to that. That's why not only do we have to pay attention over the next 40 to 45 days to our pricing for the ultra peak season, but we need to make sure that our listings are ready. There's a reason that I have a picture, well, let me lean this way, of the beach. Whether it's beach, whether it's national park, you know, whatever it is, it could be the mountains, could be mountain biking, could be Joshua Tree, Cabo, whatever you're marketing and transitioning out of winter season into the summer season, it's time to start marketing that if you are booked up through the winter season. So that means it's not one size fits all, right? So I've got 3 properties in the North Carolina mountains. We are in peak season right now. This is our biggest week of the year. But we are in ultra peak season in January, ultra peak season in February, and then we'll drop down to peak season in March, which typically has not been a tremendous month, but because the 2 major ski resorts there have made significant investments to extend the season, we might see skiing into April, actually. So I'm not 100% booked, and I have 3 properties there. 1 co-hosted, 2 owned. 1 is in Banner Elk, 1 is on Beach Mountain. So the property on Beach Mountain has more bookings that are going to be ski driven versus the Banner Elk property. The Banner Elk property actually is significantly more booked than the beach property. So I'm looking at ratios and numbers, and I am not transitioning the beach property that is not as booked. The occupancy is lower right now through the end of March, whereas the Banner Elk property, it's higher, and I'm starting to get inquiries both through direct booking, social media, and also on platform for spring break and things of that nature. So what I'm doing with that price, I don't want to get rid of the cool Christmas decor. I don't want to get rid of, kind of the fall. And I am a little bit up against the 8 ball because that's my first year. I have no snow pictures. Hence, one of the reasons I'm going to the snow market tomorrow, so that way I can get snow pictures. And just one secret tip is I actually gave my guests at my Banner Elk property, I sent them lunch yesterday. It was about a $350 lunch for 16 guests. And I asked them if they would take photos for me because there was a good 3 inches of snow, just in case it's not as pretty when I get there. So I could see it snowing on my Ring cameras. I'm preparing for next season because I have no snow photos. So I'm taking my drone, I'm taking my video, I'm taking my camera sets, I'm taking everything so I can get all 3 properties with snow photos while we're there. With that being said, I'm hybriding that specific property and I'm going to start phasing in the fishing. I'm going to start phasing in the whitewater rafting. I'm going to start phasing in, all the other stuff, the mountain biking, the ATVing, the things that go along with the summer. But I'm not just going to do a complete transformation, right? The beach mountain property that has a lot more availability, lower occupancy, I'm going to leave as is for a period of time. I might phase in 1 or 2 images earlier into the image set. Like I might put 1 spring or 1 summer into the first 5, maybe another one around number 8 or 9, and say this will be coming. But I'm not going to do a full transition yet. The other thing that's super important is you're watching the search volume. The search volume is going to continue to increase. And if you pay attention, whether it's through your pricing module or you could be looking at AirDNA, you can be using RankBreeze, whatever you're using to track. Keep an eye on that because I can't emphasize enough. I'm a big believer in direct bookings. I'm a big believer in off-platform marketing. And if this is one of the first times you're following me, I've spent millions of dollars, millions of my own dollars, and probably 10 million plus in client dollars in online and direct response advertising. Remember, I started drop shipping in 1994 before drop shipping was cool in 2015. Google ads, LinkedIn ads, Facebook ads, banner ads, you name it. Pretty damn good at it as well. But I'm still putting the majority of my effort into my Airbnb rankings. If you do nothing else, if you have no other time, and I don't believe we should dilute our time, especially right now, we need to make sure that our properties are ranked at least on the first page and in the top 5 to 10 on the first page if you want to take advantage of the bookings that are going to start to come. You are not going to get the opportunity on page 3 or page 5 or page 7. So I don't want to be beholden to Airbnb, but they are Google. They are as big as it gets. The 2 things that you should be doing, in my opinion, is you should be driving traffic through your rankings to your listing. And then you should be using Instagram and social media and the reels on Instagram for your social media. Not posting to your Facebook page, not trying to build a YouTube channel right now, but literally taking advantage of what's working today and is going to continue to work and build reels. And that could be you sitting in front of your webcam like this, telling people the value propositions about your property and have some images behind you. That could be using Loom. Go to loom.com. I think it's loom.com or loom.us, whatever it is, but it's Loom, and it's a free tool where you can screencast and run through your listing or your direct booking website. Take selfie videos at your property. Use your images and go to Fiverr and have somebody build a carousel. But turn them into reels because then you can post it on TikTok, Instagram Reels, and Facebook Reels. And that's where you're going to get the majority of free organic traffic by creating one piece of content that can be leveraged on 3 different platforms. And yes, you can also post that to LinkedIn as well. So that's 4 platform posts by creating one piece of content. I'm not real smart, but that's like 4 times my bang for my buck and my time, which is the most important asset. If you're not ready today for summer bookings, it's okay. Don't worry about it. Don't even do a thing today. Spend time with your family and move forward tomorrow. But tomorrow, I want you to start making some of these updates. Tony, you still installing a pickleball court? Absolutely. My contractor, actually, this week, he's trying to finalize all the concrete costs, and he will be the original cost for the concrete was $8,800. We're trying to get that down. He thinks he can get it to around $7,500. I mean, save me $1,300. That's awesome. Then I can apply that money to put a fence. I need a fence on one side of it, so I'm still should be probably somewhere in the $11,000 to $12,000 range for the full size, that stripes, everything for the pickleball court. Which leads me to the next component. That's going in at my number one property that closed out the year at $357,000 in revenue. It's going to be right around $212,000, $213,000 in net income. And a lot of people would say, well, Bill, why do you need to add a pickleball court? Because of the fact that I need to continue to separate myself, because all of you little buggers are catching up to everything that I'm doing, because it's just become everybody's getting better and better and better because of Rank Breeze, because of the education, because of the conferences. It's becoming more and more challenging to separate, which makes it even more important to go in and invest in 2023 into markets, not necessarily that are oversaturated, because I'm not worried about, the set it and forget it owners. It's not just about how many properties Airbnb has on their platform. It's who are the good ones. I'm competing with you. You're competing with me. That's all I care about. The shitty hosts, I'm not worried about them. The ones that just prop up a listing and don't do anything to it, they're going to end up on page 17. And they're not going to have hot tubs and coffee bars and pickleball courts and all that type of stuff. And even if they do, they don't know how to market it. But you guys do. You guys are here. You guys are in my programs. You're learning from me or Michael Sjogren or Mark or whoever it is. Pick one and go all in with them. That's the thing I'll tell you about 2023. If you're just kind of trying to learn by following a bunch of different people and picking and choosing, I wouldn't recommend that. I've done that. I've wasted lots of time and money. Find one person and go all in with them. I may not be your person. That's quite all right. That's okay. But find one and go all in and make sure you're focusing on the right thing. So here's the deal with the summer bookings. Did you send an email to your guests this week? I actually did on Thursday, Rob. 100%. So and I'd let him know that's going to. So what I believe, and Rob King asked a great question. Did I send an email to my guests this week? And that's something that I think is really important. Priming is super important. So I want to prime people that it's the opening day for summer. So I sent an email, and very similar to the email I sent you guys last night was, hey, Christmas Day is, it's the official opening day for summer bookings. That's why my bookings came in on Thursday and Friday, right? So we need to drive that traffic. If you do not have an email list right now, you need to log into Verbo. You need to log into OwnerRes, Guesty, Hospital, wherever you have your information, and you need to hit that download button and download that into a CSV. If you don't have an email service provider, go to MailChimp.com, open up an account for free. You can put 2,000 contacts in there for free. And I think you can email 3 times or maybe even 4 times a month for free to that list. And literally just I'm going to just tell you, send them an email. Hey, thank you for staying with me at ABC Property this last year or previously. Just as our way of a belated Christmas present, because you won't get it out till Monday, Tuesday. We wanted to thank you. And by the way, we're going to give you a 10% discount because it is the summer booking season is now officially open. And we just set everything up for our property. But you need to take advantage of this because this is only valid for the next 10 days. So you're creating some exclusivity. You're making them feel special. Most importantly, you're letting them know that the season is open. That gives them a mindset, a mental trigger that I need to think about summer. And then they become loyal to you. And the number one thing is reciprocity. The reason that you guys buy stuff from me is because I create value like this for you ahead of time. And then a lot of people say, well, you know what? Hey, Bill's created more value for me than anybody else in this space. And those are the ones that buy from me based on trust, based on reciprocity. That's my secret, folks. That's why I take all your phone calls. That's why I do these things on Christmas Day. That's why I'm accessible. The same thing goes to my guests. I'm literally sitting here tracking my text messages because I have an HVAC company at one of them going, and everything is good. Actually, I just got a text from Nathan at Boone HVAC. He's got everything working. And as soon as we hang up, I will send a text and call the guest that's there for probably the seventh or eighth time in the last 24 hours as we've been going through this. Being available, making it personal, giving more than you expect to receive is the key in our business. The hospitality part is what people focus on so much and talk about when it's inside the property. The challenge that you and I are going to have moving into 2023 is getting the people to our property. So we need to do that ahead of time. And if you are in one market, like there's a lot of people that they're all in the Smokies, they're all in Broken Bow, they're all in Joshua Tree, I would highly recommend that you start creating content that's going to benefit guests that are coming to that market. Not specifically about your property, but about the market and how they can take advantage of it. And what do the locals know that the visitors don't know? Share that information, turn it into a PDF, have them give you and make it free, have them give you an email address to be able to get it, or at least jump into your Joshua Tree Facebook group or like your Facebook page, something to where you can continue to market to them. But it's got to be valuable. I'm going to give you a really great use case. If you saw me post the other day about the STR Insights Best Markets to Invest into in 2023 report, that's coming out in early January. But if you click on that link that's in the featured post in the Build Short-Term Rental Wealth Facebook group, you will get early access to that. But you have to give an email address to be able to get that free report. I've been fortunate enough to see it. I saw it with my mastermind meeting. Kenny presented it to our monthly investor call with our mastermind last week. And then with our accelerator group, we had the super team on there, and Kenny gave them the report, and we went through it there. The thing that's interesting is for something that's free, you would think it's not that valuable. But it's crazy how much value Kenny has dropped into this. How would you like to know? I think it's the top 4 or 5. I think it's the top 5 markets in each region based on dollar amount. It's like 0 to 500, 500 to 750, 750 to a million, million plus. The top markets to invest into by region in those price ranges for free. That's STR Insights over delivering. Those are the things that I love about people that give, and he will win because he will continue to do that. We as hosts need to do the exact same. So I've been on here for 26 minutes. I don't want to take up too much of your time. I know it's Christmas. I do have to go get ready to go have dinner this afternoon with our family, then pack and get my family ready to go skiing this in North Carolina this week. But I want to recap. Today is the official opening day of summer booking season. Number one, we need to focus on when's the right time for us to start the transition from winter to summer in our listing. Number two, if you don't have a RankBreeze account, you need to go to rankbreeze.com and you need to sign up and go through the video tutorials and start tracking, because the most important thing is going to be your ranking on Airbnb. That's Google. Doesn't matter whether we like it or don't like it. That is the number one traffic driver. Anybody else that says they are doing more direct bookings is either spending a boatload of money and time on off-platform marketing, or they're full of shit. And most of them are full of shit, to be honest with you. The next component is to get the email list. Set up that free MailChimp account. And if you have all that, send an email in the next 48 hours. And leverage this. Literally, it's the official day. Today, Christmas. Summer booking season's open. Here's our properties. Here's what you get if you book in the next X amount of days, hours, weeks. Then here's the key. Just like when I'm doing something for you guys, when I'm selling you something, give them a reminder, even to the day that it closes. The majority of your sales will happen on day 1 and the last day. And it kind of goes static in between. Most importantly, pay attention to the booking cycle. Pay attention to the pricing. Track your pricing, track your rankings by pricing and rank breeze over the next 45 days. The next 45 days is going to be the telltale sign of what summer is going to look like for us. And if you are booked up at 50% to 100% during the summer already, you are way underpriced and you've made a colossal mistake. If you come out of the next 45 days and you have no bookings, then you're priced too high and you need to learn that and start adjusting because you will still have 4 to 5 months to catch up. Now is the time that we have to learn. The more traffic we can drive to our sites, the faster we're going to be able to learn. So, most importantly, you're welcome, Sharon. I am just grateful that you guys are here. Grateful for you to be in my community. Grateful to be in the position that I'm in with my family and my businesses. Grateful to have my right-hand man, Chris Wharton, with me. And just privileged to call a lot of you friends. And I can't wait to see 1,000 of you in Nashville in just, 2.5 months, 3 months from now. Thank you for joining me today. Hug your family. Have a tremendous Christmas, a happy New Year. And as always, if you need anything, call me, text me, DM me, PM me on Facebook. The easiest way, if you don't know me, the easiest way to get a hold of me is BillFaeth73 on Instagram. Just shoot me a DM, connect with me there, or here in the group, you can always tag me. So that's it. It's the opening day of summer booking season. Thanks for joining me. Hey, Matt, Lori, Kathy, Daniel. Daniel, let me know if you're going to be up at Beach Mountain this week. Jason, appreciate you guys being here. Go give your family a hug. Enjoy the rest of the day. And I'll see you guys very, very soon. Merry Christmas, everybody.